Okay, so did a little work to the General Lee tonight, and just thought I'd pull the camcorder out, take a real short video, just to, for those that might be following along at home. Just want to give you an idea of what we did, and it's kind of the final piece of the puzzle, so to speak, to finally finish out this General Lee theme that we've been doing on this helicopter. Just brief background here, real quick. This is an Intrepid extended boom gasser helicopter. I purchased this off of Ron Richardson, Greenwood, Indiana. He did an outstanding job of putting together the mechanics of the helicopter, setting it up, helping set up the engine. It's everything about the helicopter has been as advertised. I could not be happier with the construction and the quality that Ron put into it. The only things I've really done to it is kind of changed up the scheme. I did the cosmetics, the paint job, and I've put my own receiver equipment in there and things like that. But for the most part, it's Ron's helicopter that I've kind of made my own. Like I said, we went with the General Lee scheme. Those of you that don't know the story or haven't heard it, my wife is my inspiration on this project. She allowed me to go forward with it and spend the funds that were necessary to make it happen. And I was looking for a scheme or an idea of what to do with the helicopter. And my wife she's a Dukes of Hazzard fan. And so as I was looking at what to do with it, I thought, well, why not? That's something a lot of folks have some pretty fond memories of that particular TV show, and I thought it'd be something fun. So that's what we went with. The helicopter itself mechanically is basically stock. We haven't done anything particularly radical to it. Still runs a stock Zenoa engine. All the electronics inside the helicopter, the servos, are basic stuff. There's nothing radical there. Nothing. The setup on the helicopter is pretty much a sports setup. We did upgrade the radio in terms of I was well past due for a new radio. I had not jumped into the 2.4 gigahertz world. We're using a DX8, Spectrum DX8 on this helicopter. It does have the telemetry option available. So far I've got the temperature and the voltage, the receiver voltage hooked up. So far so good. Everything works great. I'm real happy with it. Hoping to maybe eventually get into the RPM part of it, but that's a project for future development. The other thing that we did with this helicopter, I spoke with a gentleman that runs Ram RC Electronics over in Illinois, a guy named Ralph. He helped me figure out the solution to putting the General Lee's horn on this particular helicopter. You really can't have a General Lee without the horn. That's kind of what made the General Lee what it was. So kind of racked my brain for a while on how to make that happen, and hooked up with Ralph, and he basically provided me everything I needed. So just wanted to kind of go over how that worked and how it's all set up, and then I'll blow the horn for you and we'll wrap this thing up. We have a 2-inch speaker at the back of the helicopter. You can see right there above the spark plug on the engine, there's a 2-inch speaker there. That speaker runs to a digital soundboard that we have at the front of the helicopter, wired to a 9-volt battery and a micro switch. The micro switch is activated by a servo that I have set up on a channel on the radio. You flip the switch, it triggers the micro switch, it blows the horn. It's really no more sophisticated than that. But it works great, and I wanted to play the horn for you guys so you could hear it, and let there be no doubt that you hear this thing at the flying field, you'll know I'm coming. So here we go. We've got to power up the radio. Oh, see, I had my throttle set too high. Another nice feature of the Spectrum. It tells you when you're doing something stupid. So there we go. Got the radio powered on. We're going to reach over here real quick and power up the Bergen. Let the thing initialize and make sure that all the RF connections are done, and it sounds like that they are. So we ended up setting the toggle switch here on the aux2/gov switch is the one we actually put the horn on, and you just flip the switch. Gives you 2 blows, and then if you want it again, you hit it again. Now I got to tell you that there may be some folks out there who think that's a little bit over the top, but I got to tell you, I think that's one of the coolest things that I've ever done as a hobbyist, and just real proud of the way this thing turned out. And thanks everybody for taking a look at this and taking a listen, and we'll see you at the field.